Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege is by far the game that I have the most toxic relationship with. The only game in my library with an ungodly uninstall to playtime ratio. The amount of times I've rage quit, had enough of stupid teammates, got sick and tired of shitty desync, shitty servers, and shitty audio is unfathomable. I can honestly say this game has warped the way I perceive real audio. If you don't know, Rainbow Six Siege is a super popular and very old game, and while I'm shitting on the game right now, I will hand them their roses. Siege is a game that was in a dying state at the infancy of its release. With some elbow grease and quality patches, update, and fixes to the game, it became stable and earned players. Players were able to explore the near-perfect competitive creation that was Rainbow Six. I'm assuming you already know, but Siege has destructible surfaces. That allows for almost an infinite way of solving the same problem. And it was clear at the start of the game's life, us players had no clue on how to officially use them. Shit, I don't even know if the devs were planning to make the destruction any more than a gimmick. Years later, Pro League after Pro League, and very high-level players getting their hands on the game, we found a whole new way of how to approach this game. Attack and defend are still the same, but it's crazy to see how they've morphed over the years. From spawn peaks to C4 runouts to operators like Blackbeard, Jackal, and Lion shaking up the game, it's come a long way from its original gritty identity and has been more streamlined into a hero shooter. It has the biggest character pool of any modern FPS and soon approaching 100 operators. Siege has taken another 10-year promise to make a game that on paper is so appealing. On paper, Siege is a 5v5 competitive shooter with an emphasis on gadget deployment, team management, and team coordination. That alone sounds interesting. Then you add over 60 operators from different backgrounds from real-life military units, give them all unique weapons, abilities, and gadgets, and it's even cooler. Now add that to maps that can be destroyed, altered, and reinforced to make it your perfect game of 4D chess. Now we have something very unique that no other game has been able to replicate, and for those reasons, I love this game. In my experience, no game has offered everything Siege has and all of its replayability. You can have an infinite number of ways to hold a site, push a site, with an absurd number of mashups to synergize with or go up against. It's really fun, intense, and worth every second of play. But here's where I get into all the shit I hate about this game. For starters, Ubisoft makes this title. And they used to be the GOATs, I'm not gonna lie. Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, even the old Rainbows were really good. But lately, they don't know what they're doing. Audio in the game was never good in Siege, but every update it feels like something's different. Now, remember how I mentioned destructibility before? So that's a key role in Siege's audio engine and how it interfaces the world. So the way it works is that audio will travel to the nearest hole towards the player. That's why sometimes you'll be next to a drone hole and you'll hear someone above you sound behind you, when really, they're above you. Which on paper, when a random hole is made into the wall and sound starts leaking into it, makes sense. But it doesn't work the way they want it to. And I've died countless times for trusting the audio. Speaking of trust, the game has always been plagued by hackers. Wall hackers, closet hackers, aimbots, hipfire chachacas, bullets that will burn reinforcements. You think of it, it's been done in Siege. Then there's latency issues, ping issues, and perspective issues. There's a lot of things avid players have to deal with to enjoy this game. And most of them won't say a thing because it's part of the game they enjoy, the good and the bad. And sure, sometimes it's bearable, but fuck man, sometimes it's really not. And instead of making, I don't know, a remake of Siege, Siege 2, anything to make the longevity of the game better, the game is going instead to promise 10 more years of the same hot garbage foundation they've been on. And they know this. And Siege isn't ancient foundation. That's why they have a whole anti-cheat division to how to circumvent how hackers get into their data. But anyway, Siege is a game I despise, I adore, and I take ownership anytime, any day. It's the only game that gets me hyped up to play, and it's the only game I've been playing for 8 years or so. By the way, it's really hard to get into. Newcomers is filth, don't even play it, it's Smurfs only. There's a lot of good and bad to Rainbow Six Siege, but it's truly a game all by its own. And whether it drowns or keeps itself going or even gets better eventually is entirely up to itself. They have no competition right now. With that being said, thank you for watching. Peace.
In the closet. Malusi right there on the door. On fucking sandwich.
I tagged her.
Alright, I'm walking in. On my wall. I can put it down here, I'm gonna try to. I'm putting it down.
You're good, you're good, you're good. Still good. On ping one.
Yeah, bombs down.
Yep.
190.
I'm backing out, I'm backing out.
I have a drone. Yep.
4 last operator standing.
I'll go find the last one.
Right by this wall, ping too.
I'm looking for them.
Here.
Hey, 90, top metal, top metal, top metal, top metal, top metal.